Asistio is best known for her beautiful voice. She is a singer, songwriter, and host. Aside from creating amazing songs, she is an alopecia awareness advocate with Alopecia Philippines. She continues to shed light and fearlessly embrace who she is through her positive posts on social media. Whether she is on or off stage, she embodies hard work, passion, and perseverance, and that is what makes her the inspiring individual that she is today.
Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of In Love With Me, where we feature inspiring individuals who will share their amazing stories. I am your host, Mafae Yunon Velasco, and for this series, our topic is passion and purpose. For this episode, we have an empowered woman, singer, songwriter, host, and alopecia awareness advocate to motivate us to take action. So without further ado, let's welcome the beautiful and amazing Abby Asistio. Hi, Abby.
Hi. Hi, Mafae. Thank you so much for having me on your show.
So good to see you again. It's been years since we've last spoken, but I've been following you on your social media, and you have been so amazing with everything you're doing with your career in professional singing, performing, and then your platform for alopecia awareness. You know, this beautiful woman wears many hats, and the main thing that I love about her is this smile right here. You know, so before we ask you what you've been up to lately, Abby, can you please share with everyone on how you are the empowered and inspiring woman that you are today?
Oh, thank you. Well, the journey has not been the easiest. I mean, to be able to reach a place where you are able to own who you are, embrace your uniqueness. You know, there were lots of ups and downs that came with it. And right now, I'm still focused on my music. I try to use my music, my platform, as much as possible to really uplift and inspire other people to embrace who they are, regardless if it's related to music or alopecia or not. One thing that I would always encourage people to do is to embrace and be authentic when it comes to, you know, knowing who you are and what you want and what your passion and purpose is, which is sakto because that's what we're talking about today. But yeah, so things have been on hold because of the quarantine, because of the lockdown. But I was initially planning to release a couple of singles. I'm doing something new now. It's modern Kundiman music. So I'm doing old classic Kundiman songs and adding my own twist. And in terms of the songs that I write, I would always infuse Kundiman element into it, but still with the same message, which is about women empowerment, knowing your worth, not settling for anything less. And, you know, I try to make it a point that with everything that I do, it's all aligned with that vision, which is to be my own light, my own little way. So yeah.
And you mentioned that it hasn't been the easiest journey. So could we go back when you had those challenges in your life and how you overcame them? Because, you know, I can attest to it. It comes from experience. It comes from challenges that we face, I guess, in our early years that make us who we are and makes us strong, right? So, Abby, please share with everyone your challenges in your life and how you overcame them.
Okay, so it was mentioned in the video too that I'm an alopecia awareness advocate. I actually have this condition, and since I was 4 years old, I lost all my hair, and so I grew up bald, and it was really a huge source of insecurity because I had to wear wigs, had to wear hats to fit in and to be normal. Because I grew up not feeling that I was whole, not feeling that I was beautiful because I had my condition, and I guess that was one main source of some major trial yun for me, because I was trying to find my place in the world given that I couldn't accept myself. I couldn't accept who I was. And it was very, like, I would remember growing up and questioning God. Um, na parang, bakit ako ba? Why do I have to be the one to have this rare condition? Like, not a lot of people have it. And it affected not just my hair on my head, but even my eyelashes, my eyebrows. So it was pretty obvious that I was different from everyone else. And more than other people looking down on me or bullying me or making me feel like I wasn't enough, ako mismo yung nagkaroon ng ganong conception of my identity. So regardless of, parang it all, because what I realized is it all starts with ourselves and the way we see ourselves, the way we love and communicate with ourselves. That's what we project to the world. So I grew up thinking that I was limited as a person because of my alopecia. And it took me like 24 years, quite a long time, before I actually reached that point na kaya ko nang humarap sa mga tao and say na, hey, yeah, I have alopecia, I'm bald, but I'm still beautiful and I could still do whatever it is that I want to do. I could still sing and write songs, be in the industry, reach for my dreams, even if I have this condition. And at the end of the day, we are the only ones who put boundaries to whatever it is that we can do. So, like me saying that, I value authenticity, I value uniqueness, and believing that everything happens for a reason. It all was brought about by coming from that negative, shadowy place that I had growing up. And I wouldn't be as passionate, I guess, about sharing my story if I didn't know how much it affected me growing up. Kasi when I was 4, growing up with my alopecia, I didn't have anyone to look up to. No one was telling me that it was okay and you could get through it. I didn't have anyone that I could relate to with regards to this. And so now I've tried, well, not naman try, it already is like a mission of mine to help the next generation or those who are experiencing what I have experienced growing up now, na hindi na nila pagdaanan yung ganong klaseng sense of losing themselves. Now, why do I have this? What's the purpose of this? So yeah, I guess my weakness, or what I thought was a weakness, God used to show his strength, not just in my life, but through other people. And it's through that hardship that I found my purpose, which is active, as we were talking about purpose now. I feel like that experience really directed me in terms of what it is that I was meant to do in this world.
Yes, exactly. And what's a funny memory I remember? The first time we first met, it was with Jing Monis. You became one of the ambassadors of, the known stylist here. And I just remember you looking over to me because we were doing a photo shoot. Do you remember that? And it was with you were placed in the middle of the top male models of the Philippines.
I know.
And you were like, we had a talk before that. You're like, Mafae, how do I do this? Why am I doing this? And I just, pretty much told you, you're beautiful inside and out. You're meant to be here, so just claim it. And then when I just saw you shine, like first few shots, parang nahiya ka pa. All of a sudden, I think one of them even grabbed your head, and it was just like a beautiful shot. And then, exactly. So, I mean, just seeing you glow and grow from that moment on, and just hearing you inspire and create this platform for the youth, most especially, it's just so amazing to hear. And I'm really curious on what do you share? What do you share with the young children that have alopecia? What do you tell them when you see them still struggling?
Yeah, like cause a lot of there are a lot of kids in the group, mostly little girls, and that was when it's their age that when again. Nung age ko, nagkaroon na alopecia, kapareho ko sila. And in fact, when I wrote the song Beautiful, because I have a song entitled Beautiful, the lyrics go, you're beautiful just as you are, shine your light, you're a star. And when I would speak to them, that is what I would always tell them. That you have a very specific light that only you could shine. You know, there are like millions, billions of people all over the world, but God picked all the ingredients to make you you. So you having alopecia is part of the little girl that God has meant you to be, because God knows that you are going to grow up to be an empowered, beautiful, helpful, inspiring individual. So like sometimes I don't even have to keep talking to them. I try to show them through the things that I do. If whenever they make, some of them comment on my Instagram page, my posts on my pages, and when I know that by them commenting, it's leaving seeds into their hearts. Now, if I could do this right now, if I could shine and be confident even with my alopecia, you could do that too. And you know, shine. Don't be shy. And it's nice that you brought up that story, because I remember when I came out with my alopecia 2012, everyone was like, Abby, you're so beautiful, blah, 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 all these compliments. And at first, actually, it was kind of hard to take in, because I grew up feeling that my alopecia was something ugly that I had to hide. And when everyone was complimenting me about being beautiful, I realized that it wasn't just because of the shape of my head or because of my face. I think what made an impact in other people's lives was that I chose to be brave. I chose to rise above the condition that I had. And that's one thing that I would really want to impart to the people that I get to talk to, not just on speaking engagements, but even with the little things that I post online. I try to infuse little nuggets of wisdom here and there to inspire other people.
I didn't know it was only in 2012 that you were really networking and spreading awareness. I mean, I thought that you were always you've created the platform, but I'm glad that during those moments I was able to be there for you, because, you know, you were part of the family, you know. We were like, man, this girl is gorgeous.
No, even with Sir Jing, like when he reached out to me, when he saw me on the bottom line, and that was like early on. I just came out bald and I was still trying to navigate through this whole journey. And he was like, I want you to be part of the Jing Mones family, because I want to be able to share with everyone how you've touched me. Like, he said that my story touched him and he wanted to share it with people. So yeah, I'm glad that you're part of that journey with me.
Yeah.
You see your outfit? So hot.
Yeah, I know, right? Like, oh my gosh, how did I fit in that? But anyways, when did you start singing?
Well, I've been singing as early as 3, because I would remember having videos of me singing The Greatest Love of All. But it was only after college that I decided to pursue singing professionally. And like, I remember the first batch of songs that I wrote would always be about reaching for your dreams and going against the flow and all those stuff, because even pursuing music was hard. I took a political economy in college, so it was a very serious course. And then I decided to take up music, which was a career that had no certainties. As you can see now with the lockdown, you know, we're one of the industries that are really hit by this quarantine. But when I got into music, it really was a leap of faith for me. I just know that God gave me a voice, not just my singing voice, but a voice as a woman, to be able to share and use my platform to get messages across. So nag-start ako, mga underground scene. I would sing at events for free just to create like a network. And then eventually people started hiring me naman, and I started pursuing it professionally na.
And of course, you know, during that time where you pursued a passion and was hoping that you can create a career out of it, for aspiring singers, even most especially with alopecia, what would be your advice to them?
one of the biggest things that I learned is to not compare yourself to other people. I guess coming from having alopecia plus having a voice. Well, my voice is not like biretera vibe. Eh. It's so steady and chill. Oh, it's me. But yeah, so coming
Yeah.
from alopecia before, I had a concept na dapat as an R&B singer, I needed to look a certain way. My waistline needed to be this small. I needed to have curly, wavy, huge hair like Jennifer Lopez or Beyonce. So, but I was so different from that, and I could have like initially it was a concern for me. It may seem shallow to some people, but starting in the industry, that was one of the things na iniisip ko talaga, yung parang branding and packaging. I need to look a certain way and sound a certain way. But my advice for artists, specifically new artists who are trying to get into the industry, is don't try to be like anyone else, because everyone else can't be like you as well. Like you
Yeah.
have your own flavor, you have your own style, you have your own sound. And even when it comes to writing music, imagine if you didn't go through what you went through, if you didn't pick up your pen, write that song would not exist. And so the world needs the genuine you. And there's no use trying to be like everyone else, because how are you gonna make an impact if you're just like everyone else, replaceable or just a copy? So, yun lang yung advice ko. Number one, authenticity. Pangalawa, perseverance. Like, I'm in my 30s, and sometimes, like, sometimes I would question why I'm still doing the things that I do. But, yun talaga yung sigaw ng heart ko eh. I really can't imagine not having music in my life and not using it as a platform to touch other people. The Lord gave us gifts and desires, and He put that in our heart and in our soul for a reason. And that is my reason. Not just because I enjoy doing it, but because I know that through it, I could make an impact in other people's lives as well.
That's so true. I mean, everything you're sharing is something that the youth most especially needs to hear. I mean, right now we have a lot of time on our hands.
Yeah.
They're doing so much in just worrying or looking at social media. So what would be your advice for them to, what should they prepare? I mean, I know we will find a cure, and there will be doors that will be opening. So what should they be doing right now as far as making their voice better, or maybe their writing better?
Yeah. I think sometimes you just have to do it and put stuff out, because you won't really know what works for you and what works for your community and following if you don't put it out. Because sometimes one of the sakit ng mga artists is perfectionism. Now, I don't want to put this out yet, or I don't want to try this because people might say this and they might have all these opinions and it may not fly. But what if it does? You'll never know unless you give it a try. And so just keep putting out stuff, kasi unang-una, practice for you. Natututo ka sa mga tama na ginagawa mo, sa mali na ginagawa mo. And at the same time, with the internet, you'll never know where your content's gonna go.
Yeah.
So it's not just we're not just talking about the Philippines here. You'll never know. Someone from some big shot record producer could see your content somewhere in the US or something like that. So keep doing you, but at the same time, what I learned, and this is coming from a struggle that I had over the quarantine, I also learned not to be too hard on myself. Because I remember first 2 months of quarantine, I was in that exact mode na parang, yeah, just do it, put out stuff, collaborate, write new songs, do covers. And then come third month, I felt that wall na parang, shucks, why am I doing this? Na burn out ako because of the pressures, not the pressures that I put on myself. So, other than being perfectionist, one of the things that we are tempted to become is, striving so hard sometimes that it gets the most of you instead of propelling you to do more and do better. Nape-pressure mo yung sarili mo to keep putting out stuff when nauubos naman yung loob. Does that make sense? Kasi
Yeah.
I learned nga, parang, yeah, I wanted to put out more music and content, but I realized I was kind of suffering na internally. Suffering in the sense na, with the quarantine, it kind of hit me. So when I stopped writing, recording, and putting out stuff for 2 months. But I realized that as an artist, I needed that too, because I can't fake it. I can't put out stuff or attempt to entertain, to perform, or inspire others if I was having that struggle within me. So, yeah, I think when it comes to passion and purpose, number one then is taking care of yourself, because you won't be able to inspire and empower others if you're not taking care of yourself.
Yeah, totally true. I was watching another testimony from another celebrity, and she was sharing that she did a talk, and then after the talk, it was about insecurities. So when the student came up to her and asked her the questions, she felt as though at that moment, very generic, the answer. And then she looked back and she was like, it was hard for her to answer it, I guess, in a way that it was coming out in a passionate or compassionate way, because she was still feeling empty. And exactly what you're saying, you don't need to fake it, because people will see right through you. I mean, like I always say in this show, actions speak louder than words. And so whatever you do is a domino effect already, because sometimes words are just, I guess, they listen and then come out the other ear, or it doesn't mean so much when they see Abby striving for a music career, a professional singing career. You can say it, you can claim it, but at the end of the day, it comes from within. Like you said, you have to love what you're doing. You have to have that energy also. So with that, when you have, because you write your songs, right? So when you have a writer's block, what happens through your mind? What do you do to be able to get back into the groove?
Literally, I stay away from writing. No, it works different ways for, like, I have friends who, when they don't feel like writing, they force themselves to like exercise, and for them to, like, diba, parang if you do something, your heart will follow. But I guess I work differently. I can't do something when my heart isn't there yet. But when I do get back, I'm like, yeah, let's do 4 songs in one day. Like, that's just how it has worked for me. And when it comes to writing songs, sorry, hello, yeah.
Hold on a second. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Could you hear me?
So, but I can't hear her. Hold on a second. Let me just fix this.
Okay, no problem.
Oh, there it is. Oops.
Mafae. Could you hear me now? You're on mute. There.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay, so if ever, can you share with everyone also your 4 pillars that you live by, Abby? I know you just shared what you do when you have writer's block, but in general, what are your 4 pillars of success now?
Well, one is authenticity. Like what I said, I feel like you really have to be as real and as genuine as possible, not just to other people, but to who you are. And I guess that comes from self-awareness too. Like, you need to know what your vision is, know what your core values are, what you stand for, what you believe in. And it really helps, because with the decisions and the steps that you take, if you know that they're not aligned with who you are as a person, wala. Kailangan dun ka lang sa patungo sa kung ano yung direction mo. So yeah, authenticity. Love, pwede ba yun as a pillar?
Yeah.
I guess you need to do everything out of love. And ano siya, both ways. Like, you can't give what you don't have. So for me, I would always say it all starts with self-love. and filling your own cup, because you can't give out of an empty cup. Okay, Mafae will be back in just a couple of seconds. But yeah, fill your own
No,
cup so
I was
that
giving
you're
you
going
the
to be
light.
able to
Let's zoom
give
in to
love, not
you.
just to yourself, but to other people. And yeah, and your actions, the things that you put out into this world should be motivated by that as well.
Mhm.
Number 3 is, for me, faith and trust in God. Could they go together? Like in everything that I do, what I realize through the successes and the failures that I've experienced, it's my relationship with God that has never disappeared. It's constant. And it's constant not because my faith is unwavering. It's constant because He would always be there for me regardless of what it is that I'm going through. And I trust na through this whole journey, He has a grand plan for me, grand purpose for everything that I experience. And then third is significance. Like for me, success is great. When worldly success, the word we all define success in different ways, but for me as a person, I know that it's a different kind of high that I experience when people tell me that my life has touched them. Parang minsan, parang mas naiiyak ako or kinikilabutan ako when people tell me, you know what, when I heard your story or when I heard your song, it really took me out of this dark time in my life. Yun, doon ako kinikilig na talagang parang, thank you for saying that to me, because of course I would want awards or to have hit songs or to become a millionaire through my career, but nothing beats the feedback of having people say that your life has touched them. So for me, that's really important to want to be significant more than being successful. Period. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. You know, sometimes I guess people lose their mission and vision in life because it's either they make it too fast and then have distractions of course, the fame and fortune. But there are those key elements, like what you said, being significant, just changing people's lives, receiving feedback that what you're doing is, a testament of making others feel good. I know, I love when I hear you sing. It just makes me happy. And I'm sure a lot of other people are happy with what you share with everyone. I mean, it takes a lot of guts, it takes a lot of courage of what you do, Abby, and you do it with a beautiful smile. And that's something that I respect and admire about you because, it's not easy. I am thankful for what I have, and I'm thankful for the friendship and just the I guess the learnings that I receive from you, because you can learn something from everyone. Everybody has a story, and I'm sure not a lot of people know that you have alopecia. I'm sure a lot of people are still kind of surprised. What? Are you sure? But at the end of the day, it comes with the strength and I guess the confidence that you share with others, that they don't even see that as like a hindrance or something that's pulling you down. Actually, it's lifting you up even more, most especially now. I do see that you've got an upcoming benefit concert in July 25. Do you want to share and invite everyone to that?
Yes, I'll be part of Haraya. It's a benefit concert for the Philippine e-learning, for the youth, and it's education through e-learning. So I partnered with a group called Make Sense, and they're in charge of that project. I hope we could take part and donate if you could find it in your hearts. If you think that's an advocacy that you feel connected to, it'll be on the 25th on their Facebook page. I'm not so sure about the exact link, but go to my Instagram and my Facebook. It's at Abby Asistio, and on Facebook at Abby Asistio Music. I'll keep you guys posted over there.
We'll make sure anyway to have your social media and also the link to your upcoming concert. We've also created just today with the team an In Love With Me series Instagram page. So with that, that's my give back to all the guest speakers, especially Abby, on her projects, on her upcoming concerts, and possibly more quotes and wisdom from Abby that we'll be posting there. So follow and like, guys, and share with everyone, because like Abby, they've got a story to tell to inspire and motivate you, most especially at this time. So before we wrap up, Abby, please share your words of wisdom to everyone listening, the youth, women, men who are feeling a little bit low, especially at this challenging time.
I'll just pick one of the lines from my song, Beautiful. One of my favorite lines there is, believe in your heart, you were meant for greater things. Believe in your heart, you can go far. When darkness creeps in, release the courage deep within. We're made much stronger than our scars. We were talking about us having different stories, going through different trials and challenges. But, you know, we may not be in charge of how the past has molded us or how circumstances turn out, but we are in charge of our own present moment, of our destiny. So we have the ability to change the negative experiences that we have and turn them into something positive. So we're made much stronger than our scars, like what the song says. Yung mga difficult situations, the painful, heartbreaking situations that you went through, those actually made you stronger individuals, braver individuals. And you know, the kind of person na nabuo, hindi yan mangyayari kung hindi mo yun pinagdaanan. So there was a deeper reason behind you going through that. And once you learn to rise above that, that's what you share to everyone else, and that's what you use to help other people. One of my favorite quotes is, your story is the key that could unlock someone else's prison. And one of the reasons why I keep on sharing my story is that, you know, I would never know who would end up hearing my story. Tas meron pala siyang pinagdadaanan na ganun din. So, kailangan open yung heart natin to help other people.
Amen to that. Hindi, okay lang. I love it. Can you share with everyone also where they can find? Okay lang. That's your calling. You're supposed to share always. Invite everyone where they can hear your music. Is it on Spotify?
Yes, please check out my songs on Spotify. I released a cover song recently. It's called Ang Tangi Kong Pag-ibig. It's my take on a classical Ndiman song. And I'll be releasing more of it this month. So please follow me on Spotify. I'm not yet sure about the exact dates of the releases, but all my past stuff are there also. I'm on YouTube at Abby Asistio. I hope you could follow me, and I post videos and vlogs, covers there too. Instagram at
yes.
Abby Asistio, Facebook at Abby Asistio Music. Yeah.
There you have it, guys. You know, this is a woman who is amazing, inspiring, and gorgeous, as you can see. And she has such a beautiful story to tell. So please support her in her music, in her advocacy. I'll make sure that all the social media that was expressed here by Abby will be on the caption so that you guys can find it easier. And with that, you know, follow also the Alopecia Philippines. Is that correct?
Yes.
And then there you
anyone with a condition could join our group too.
Yes, and it's a very powerful group because Abby really empowers and inspires, most especially the youth, and of course adults who need that extra boost. And with that, guys, I am so happy and proud to share Abby with you guys today. And actions speak louder than words. And thank you for tuning in this episode of In Love With Me. Love you, Abby. Thank you so much.
Thank you for watching In Love With Me series.